Hi everyone, and welcome to the Last Resort Relationship Q&A, where we answer your questions. I'm Sam.
Hi everyone, I'm Maxine. Hi Sam.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm really excited to get going
I know.
and see what kind of question we have today and who it's from.
Well, we have got a guy called Jamie who's 32. He's been married to his lovely wife for 10 years. And in his email to us, he was saying that they do argue. They've got quite a passionate relationship, but the arguing seems to be getting worse and worse and worse. And it's like daily now. And he's really sad and he doesn't know what to do because the arguments seem to be over very menial things, which I think we can all relate to. And he really doesn't know what's going on, and he keeps trying to offer her help with things. She had a situation at work where he was trying to give advice and she just snapped at him, and he reached out to us because I think we posted something about communication with one of our recent podcasts with Stein Quellheim, who talks about expectation and arguments from each other, and he really wanted to know what he could do to stop the arguments or react in a different way, because he's really feeling quite sad. And I think, like in what's going on at the moment, there's so much tension at home. I'm not really surprised they're arguing more, but he says they've been arguing and it's just got worse, basically.
Does he explain, does he write how this makes him feel in any way other than sad, of course?
Well, it's interesting because he was saying that he feels like it's emasculating him. He wants to take care of her, but she's quite independent. He was saying that, she's the type of job that she got is quite high profile. So she's quite a strong woman, and he finds it quite hard to kind of just be a man and be there for her and protect her, basically, in the, protection way, in the caveman way. So...
This demasculation thing, it's quite interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
We women, we don't realise we do that sometimes. Actually demasculate the men, make them feel like they are not good enough, basically, that they can't protect us or provide us,
Yeah.
They need to feel like they can be something there, support us, provide for us. And,
totally.
And that's what we want, don't we? We long for that. But we just sometimes, we push it away from ourselves.
So what advice could we give him, really? Where could he start? What's one of the first things? This probably applies to a lot of people, actually. Having an argument with someone and they're very confrontational, and, especially if it keeps going on and it's daily, you really don't know what to do, and you kind of... possibly could start walking around on eggshells on that other person, couldn't you? Because you're just like, oh, am I going to say something wrong?
And it's exhausting. Like being angry or frustrated or sad. I mean, you use so much of your energy.
Yeah.
And isn't the point that, you need that energy actually to work on yourself to be a good partner instead of wasting it on, annoying each other. What I would say, number one, and this is in nearly all self-development work, and we talk about this a lot in our podcast. It's hard to understand, but this, I feel, is a key point. So when we're working with relationships, we always have to look at the individual first and what's going on within the individual. So I would recommend Jamie. So first of all, ask questions. Not to your partner, but ask them to yourself. So I would say, Jamie, what is really behind these arguments? If you look deeper into this, it's like peeling an onion, Yeah. Why does this frustrate you? Why does this... What was one of the common topics that they usually would argue about? Did he write anything?
Well, he says that actually they fight a lot about money. That seems to be coming up quite a lot. And obviously she's earning quite a lot of money. He's not in a job that's earning the same amount. I think that probably doesn't help, masculinity-wise, when the woman is earning more money. than him. So she's kind of like the main breadwinner. And I know that he was saying that he feels that there's a lot of frustration, especially in that area for him and for her, by the looks of things, if they're fighting. Like he can't do enough. That's one of the things that he said quite early on. He's like, they're arguing so much that he feels like he can't do enough to make her happy. So it's interesting when you say asking. I think we always assumed that you have to ask what's going on with that person before we ask, because maybe he's reacting in a way that is provoking her, into arguing with him, or making her frustrated with him, possibly.
And this can do with his inner deepest feelings and thoughts. So that's why I'm asking Jamie, like, what is really behind the pain you are feeling? What is really behind the arguments? Like, what is it that she is saying to you that triggers you? How does it make you feel? Where does that come from? Is that an insecurity within you? And also you could ask that question to yourself, but also regarding your partner. Like, how am I making her feel by reacting like that? And then by making her feel like that, how does that make her behave or react?
Yeah.
And then there's a circle, isn't there? Have I told you about mirror neurons, Sam?
You mentioned it to me, and I remember when you first told me about mirror neurons, I was like, it just kind of blew my mind, because especially when it comes to things like arguments. But I think you should explain to people, because it's like, I'm not going to do it justice. And I know that you studied the Silva method extensively for years, and I know this is kind of like more of an area of expertise for you. But yeah, I reckon that'd be a really good thing to explain to people.
Yeah, so I must just say it's Ken Kasha, who's been on our podcast, who's taught me about mirror neurons.
I love this guy.
I'm not going to take the credit myself. And of course, he's been working with dynamic meditation, mindfulness, coaching, all of that for 50 years. Yeah. And he, in the 60s, was one of the people, the main persons of this movement, bringing all of this to the West. So talk about credibility, and he has taught me about the mirror neurons, because they actually affect everything we do with another person, absolutely everything. And neurons, they are cells that we have in our brain, clusters of cells that are activated when we perform something. That means when we do something, perform an action, or when we feel something, when we have emotions. Now, what happens with these mirror neurons? We fire them off. So they actually, if we had a camera that could see them, we would see these little like electrons firing off, and they hit the other person who you are then communicating with, and they feel in their neurons, in their own cells, they react exactly the same. It fires the emotions and the actions that you are doing, it reaches them into them, basically. A very simple example is actually chimpanzees, baby chimpanzees. When they need to learn how to peel nuts, they would just sit and watch their mother peel nuts. So that is the mirror neurons of the mother is firing off, hitting the child, so they can experience the feeling and the action of the mother, and therefore they can learn how to do this in a much better way. So it has to do with learning as well. And these scientific facts and all this research, it just confirms that it's us. We are triggering our partners. And until we figure out what we are doing within ourselves and how we are acting, reacting, feeling, then we can't change, fix, help anything within our relationship, and especially not within another person.
Yeah. It's funny, all our podcasts that we've been doing to date, there seems to be, I mean, they're very diverse in who we're talking to, but there seems to be this one current theme of self-work and working on yourself, and how, you know, we don't know how Jamie's, I mean, he's written how he feels, but it's like, why is he reacting the way that he does, you know, and questioning that, like you're saying. But it's really fascinating because I think when you know that and you walk into a room, you can really, it can probably change your whole experience of being in a room. Because, you know, if you go in there and someone's really angry, you immediately pick it up. Everybody can identify that. But the fact that it's scientifically proven that there is an actual neuron that is doing that, I mean, that's, and then you put that into a relationship. I think it's a big game changer. I really do. Is there something you could?
Why we like to peel the onion. Sorry, Sam. That's why we like to peel the onion. What's behind that? What is behind that again? And what's behind that? Because that thing that's in the core of the issue, that's always going to be affecting your partner in a negative way.
Yeah.
If you don't deal with it. So and the first step,
No, go on. I was going to say, I want some steps for Jamie, because obviously, you know, he's reached out to us, and I think, you know, we're always here to try and help people. This is why we kind of started our podcast, isn't it? So it's like, you're going to say, what steps can he do? Are there really simple steps, actually, or is it really complicated?
It's very, very simple, but of course you have to start doing these steps so it becomes a habit. Right. So for example, and I remember in our episode with Stein from Norway, who you mentioned, you asked him, you said, Stein, why is it that we can be total bitches and assholes to people we know, people we love? We can really push their buttons. We know how to push the buttons. We know how to annoy them. We know how to make them sad or guilty, and we do it. Why is that? Why don't we do the same thing with strangers or like people that we don't really care about?
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
It was basically, we feel safe with loved ones.
Yeah, of course.
We can be total assholes with them.
I mean, isn't that crazy?
Because they're not going to just, we're going to see them again in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
But it's also true, isn't it, that if to be really vulnerable with somebody is that unsafe place, isn't it? You don't know how they're going to react, and you want to protect yourself. That's what we tend to do. So it's fascinating, because you think, wow, people are choosing to be mean than actually truthful in the one place where they should be truthful, which is in a relationship. You know, you want to be able to be truthful with your wife, your husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever.
So number one, so when this is actually happening, if we're talking the physical action here, so he's got him and his partner, they're in the same room, they've just managed to push each other's button in some way, or one the other, the energy is rising, the heat, the mirror neurons with the insecurity and the frustration, they're firing off towards each other. It is so hard then to not react.
Yeah, very hard. Yeah.
And not say something.
Yeah.
So what I would recommend, find a physical action he can do. He decides which action that is before any argument happens. So he can decide now, what is that? For me, I do this with my finger.
Really? I never knew that. So if I see you doing that, you get angry with me.
It puts me in a different state.
Wow.
But that's what I've decided. When I do this, I will calm down.
Yeah.
And I will remove myself from whichever situation is right in front of me. And I will go into myself, and I will have a little thought process going on.
I mean, that's an easy thing. All people could do that, though, couldn't they? Figure out something.
Yeah, find out what. So other people, I have a very good friend. This works really well. She puts her tongue.
Oh, on the roof of her mouth?
Right. Yeah, on the roof. It's a physical action. Other people, they can do 3 deep breaths. That works very well.
You know, I'm all about meditation and breathing. Power of breathing.
It can be anything, Sam. It can be this. It could be any physical. So that reminds Jamie detach from this situation right now. Okay.
Yeah, and calm yourself down.
Doesn't react.
Yeah.
Then I would either remove myself from that situation in a nice way, in a calm way.
Yeah.
And I would ask the question, what is really behind this argument right now?
Mm-hmm.
What is really annoying me?
Yeah.
What is she really saying? What is she saying that I can't hear?
Yeah. I was going to say, one of my things would be listening. Is people don't listen. Because especially when you're fired up, mirror neurons are going off, and you're in the heat of this moment, that actually you stop listening, don't you? When you're in that argument. So what is she really saying? Because what is she really saying? Yeah. Jamie, what is she really saying?
And then Jamie goes on asking questions. How does this make me feel?
Yeah.
How do I really want to feel in this relationship?
Mm-hmm.
What can I say? What can I do in order for me not to feel like this?
Yeah.
Because as long as he feels attacked or what other feelings, Sam? You get as an individual in an argument? What can you feel?
Generally, rejection, attack, defense, fear,
victimization.
Yeah. Loneliness. Yeah.
And what we're arguing about now can have something to do with something that happened 5 years ago. That's a completely different thing altogether.
Yeah.
But it's in your core, or it's in your partner's core.
Yeah.
So that is the first step.
That's a pretty good step.
From the situation, don't react.
Yeah.
Find a physical thing to do.
Yeah.
Second step, ask questions to yourself.
Yeah.
What's behind? Then I would personally ask questions to your partner.
Yeah. What's really going on?
Not open-ended questions like, why are you hurting me that way? Why are you being so horrible?
Mm-hmm.
How could you do this to me?
What? Yeah. Why are you doing this to me?
Why are you treating me like this?
When it should be, what's going on? Are you okay? Do we need to talk about something? That kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in a way,
maybe.
Because sometimes that diffuses an argument. I found that if you kind of have that, take a step back, have that moment, and then go, hey, because it almost takes them out of their rage, doesn't it? In a way, depending on the level of the argument, but. If you go, hey, what's going on? What's happened? Are you okay? Are you okay? Sometimes is all it needs. I found that sometimes in arguments, if you say, are you okay? That person can start crying and then it's no longer an argument. It's like, oh my God, I've had a bad day or something, this happened. And you always take it out on the people that are closest to you, don't you? When something bad happens. I think those are 3 great tips.
Yeah. So number 3, so the questions you can ask your partner, what's really going on for you right now? What are you really trying to tell me?
Yeah.
How do I make you feel? How do you want to feel?
Yeah.
What can I do and what can I say to make things better for you?
Perfect.
So it sounds simple, right?
It does sound simple. It does sound really simple.
Experience with these things is the only thing you can do to learn how to make this work, basically.
Yeah. And also I think, you've got to try different things, haven't you? And I think, I agree with you. I think if Jamie tried this, I think it would be a real game changer for him and his wife.
Yeah. And can I just give a little bonus tip?
Go on then.
Do you know what always works, okay?
Go on.
So you're asking these questions to your partner. What about throwing in there a little bit of a compliment or something? For example, Thank you so much for being in my life. You make me so happy. I'm so grateful to have you in my life. But what is going on right now? What's going on with you? What are you feeling? What are you thinking? Do you see how that changes the dynamic straight away?
And by doing that, when you know you were talking about mirror neurons earlier, does that actually shift because you've shifted your mirror neurons back at them?
Yeah. Shift instant, without fail. And this stuff is measured, Sam, scientifically. It's there. It's biology, basically. It's not, what do we say? Woo-woo-wah. No, it's not. It's scientifically proven, it's biology. And, so that sounds simple. However, try it, Jamie.
Yeah, try
and
it.
Let us know how you get on.
Actually, everybody try it that's watching this and let us know whether it worked.
So remember, guys, you can ask us anything about your relationship.
And it's really easy to get in touch. All you need to do is send us an email to thelastresortrelationshippodcast@gmail.com or write in the comments below. Or you can also send us a message on our Facebook page.